is Dr. Vinod from Department of Community Medicine, Dow University. And today's topic regarding the biostatistics. And we are discussing today regarding ANOVA. Okay. ANOVA basically is means analysis of variances. So we are talking about the biostatistics. This is not a medical related topic, but it is related with the research, medical research. So basically, an analysis of variance or ANOVA was developed by the Ronald Fisher in 1918, and this ANOVA is basically the extension of Z-test and T-test. So why need of this ANOVA? Why not T-test? We are discussing these things in today's session, and we also use ANOVA, its calculations, and how you interpret the results. So let us start. The learning objectives is ANOVA, its purposes, and differences between the ANOVA and the T-test. Okay. So basically, ANOVA is the extension of T-test. So that's why we also discuss uh, ANOVA and T-test together. Okay. This is a summary table of statistical tests. So you should go through and remember that where you apply different type of statistical testing and what are the difference between different type of testing. So on the left of your screen is level of measurement, and there are few categories: categorical, nominal, rank or ordinal, and the lower row there is a parametric or interval and ratio type of measurement. So when you are talking about the t-test and ANOVA, so you need the parametric type of measurements, like intervals ratio means where the numbers are discrete, like height, weight, cholesterol levels, sugar levels, IQ levels. These are the parametric type of intervals, because there may be the results come in the fractions. But in the above the categorical or nominal or rank or ordinal, these are basically a qualitative type of measurements in which we do not use the interval or ratio type of numericals, but we discuss giving them the numbers, like nominal from 1 to 10 or from rank from 1 to 10. So in that way, we use different type of measurement. So always remember that when you are go for the t-test or ANOVA, you should see that the data is the numerical type or discrete type and should be a parametric testing. So the next column is regarding the one sample. So when you have got one sample of data, so in that cases in parametric you go for the Z test or T test. If the sample is data is from one group of patients or volunteers or other subjects. And when there are two samples, you can use the t-test between groups and the t-test within groups. So in this way, you can use the two samples. The problem arise from onward when there is a more than two samples or categories or groups. So in that case, we use the ANOVA, because the problem with the t-test is that when it apply on the more than two samples, uh, we'll mostly done the type 1 type of error, type 1 error. But there is no problem with the ANOVA. And we discussed how many types of ANOVA, how basically it is actually conducting the different type of calculations. Okay, what is their purposes. So on the right side, you can see that when the sample size is more than 2, you can use the ANOVA. But at the last one, the base, there is also a factorial or two-way ANOVA, which can be applied from two samples, independent, dependent, and the K samples. Means you can apply this two-way ANOVA in all four cases. But in the one-way ANOVA, we are mostly focused today's discussion about the one-way ANOVA. So you can see that the one-way ANOVA apply in the independent cases and apply in the within repeated measures. So when talking about the correlations, there are different types of other tests like Pearson R-square test. So today's we focus on the ANOVA, and if we have got the time, so we'll discuss the all other things. Okay, so let's begin with the purpose of ANOVA. The purpose of ANOVA is basically a statistical technique which compare the different sources of variance within a data set. The purpose of the comparison is to determine if significant differences exist between two or more groups. So I told you that this is actually the same thing which done by the t-test, but the t-test only limited to one or two samples groups. But in case of more than two groups, the problem with the t-test is that it can develop type 1 errors in their calculation. So it can be do a biases in the results. So in that case, the analysis of variance is a somewhat better testing for hypothesis. Why ANOVA? In real life, things do not typically result in two groups being compared, like in test line on 1 to 64 in Frankfurt research. So in the future, or maybe some students are engaged with the research, they may be encountered with that more than two groups. So in practical, it is more robust test than the t-test. The two sample t-tests are problematic. Why? It can increase the risk of type 1 error. The t-test is only limited to one sample or two samples groups. But when you are increasing the sample groups, it will increasing the risk of the type 1 error. Type 1 error is that you rejecting the null hypothesis, but in actually it was true. This is a type 1 error. And 0.05 level of significance with 100 comparison, I will show a difference when no none is exist. Yes, yes.
सर आपकी आवाज बहुत स्लो हो रही है.
स्लो हो रही है.
जी सर.
अब ठीक है थोड़ा सा.
हाँ अब सही है बिल्कुल सर.
यार वो थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है इसके.
ये सर है ना, एक काम करें ना, कैमरा तो आप यूज नहीं कर रहे ना, तो कैमरे में वो कैमरे में ये माइक है, तो वो अपनी तरफ आगे कर लें तो आवाज सही आएगी.
कैमरे में माइक है क्या? कैमरे में माइक है क्या?
नहीं तो इनको बोले फिर है ना उसकी सेटिंग सही करें सर. माइक बहुत स्लो आवाज आ रही है. स्टूडेंट ना मैसेज किया.
अच्छा हेलो, अब ठीक है?
आप बिल्कुल अब ठीक है सर.
इसको रखना पड़ेगा. So the problem with the t-test that it increasing the risk of type 1 error when you are applying the t-test more than two samples. And because at 0.05 level of significance, because mostly research we take the 0.05 level of significance with the 100 comparison, 5 will show a difference when none is exist. So this is the problem with the t-test. So the more t-test you run, the greater the risk of type 1 error. Means you rejecting the null hypothesis when actually it was true. The all purpose of testing the hypothesis is that the researcher want to reject the null hypothesis. But in the repeated measure of t-test, it can be misdiagnosed or misinterpret the results. So here is ANOVA, the solution. ANOVA allows us to see if there are difference between the means within omnibus test. So ANOVA is basically omnibus test. Omnibus is actually one way test which can in which the independent we take the independent variable at fixed way, like in the one or two dependent variables and one is a independent variable in one way type of ANOVA. But in two-way ANOVA, you can do two independent variable with the two or three other type of dependent variables. So basically, it is a omnibus test, and it is better than the t-test when there are more groups. Okay, when you use ANOVA, the data must be experimental. Okay, means you are going to do the parametric type of numerical discrete data, like you are working on the cholesterol levels, blood sugar levels, and height, weight, blood pressure. So these are the discrete type of data in which the data mostly come in the fractions, okay, or in the interval ratios type. So if you do not have the access to statistical software, in ANOVA can be computed by hand. So for medical student, there are different type of softwares available. So you just put the data and it will automatically run the ANOVA test. So, but if someone want to do the manually, it can be done by some calculation, but it is need some expertise in the statistical knowledge. So you can do it by manually or by using the software. Today we only do this ANOVA test by using the Spaces. Spaces is a software which is known as a statistical package for uh, uh, social sciences. So with many experimental design, the sample sizes must be equal for the variance vector levels combination. These are the some assumptions or conditions where you apply the ANOVA. Data must be experimental, and the experimental design, the sample size must be equal for the various vector levels combination. A regression analysis will accomplish the same goal as an ANOVA. The regression is another type of statistical modeling test. We will discuss in next classes about the regression. Okay, the ANOVA formulas change from one experimental design to another. So when the experimental change, we use some manipulation in the calculations according to need of that research. Basically in t-test we looking for the means, but in ANOVA we looking for the variances. So we are applying the variances concept to means. So same things in the t-test, we see the difference of mean in within the different groups, two groups, but we use the same knowledge, same technique about the variances. Variances basically standard deviation is type of one variation or variances. We do it in discuss it in previous classes regarding the descriptive statistics. So how do mean of different groups compare to the overall mean? Okay, basically the ANOVA is do the calculation uh, within groups and the between groups. So it will see the differences of variances within groups and the between groups. So the the means vary so greatly from each other that they exceeds individual differences within the group. So automatically when you use this technique within groups and between groups, it will show that which group is different from the others. So this is how the ANOVA works. So you can separate uh, the groups will are component into two component like within groups and the between groups. The within groups, the variability are differences in particular group. So when you doing the calculations, because for the ANOVA you need the calculation for the F distribution, and for F distribution you need the calculation of two types, within groups and between groups. So then you get the F distribution, and from F distribution you can see that the actual value of P, which is less than 0.05. So within groups it means the variability are differences in the particular groups, individual differences. Okay, and the other component is the between groups. The differences depending what group one is in what treatment is received. So then first you do the calculation within group, then you compare all groups within uh, between differences from one group with the other group. So these are the two components on which basis the NOIs works. Okay, fundamental concept, you are able to compare multiple means. Between group variance reflect difference in the way the groups were treated. So fundamental concept that basically between groups variances reflect differences in the way the groups were treated. So in which one group is compared with the other group, individual, then within group variances reflect individual differences within groups differences. And the other thing is the null hypothesis, because it is a test of testing the hypothesis. So there are two type of null hypothesis. One is called the null hypothesis, means the no difference in the means, and the researchers hypothesis is called the alternative hypothesis, which want to prove that there is some difference between the groups. So alternative hypothesis is basically the researchers hypothesis or a claim. Hypothesis means a claim. So you want to when do calculation you focus that you can prove that the null hypothesis is wrong or rejected. The purpose of ANOVA, same like t-test, uh, because ANOVA is basically extension of the t-test. So like the t-test, the ANOVA calculates the ratio of the actual differences to the difference expected due to chance alone. So same thing we testing the t-test, the ANOVA doing the same thing, but the difference is that here the groups are more than two. This ratio is called the F ratio, and it can be compared to an F distribution. Like in T distribution or Z distribution, there is also a table of F distribution available in the statistical books and on the internet. So when you calculate your F ratio, then you see the uh, where it is stand and where is the actual the p value is defined. Either the p value is more than 0.05 and or it is less than the 0.05. Okay, so basically you calculate the F ratio from this ANOVA calculations. For an F ratio, the actual difference is the variance between groups and the expected difference is the variance within groups. Two calculations are needed for calculation of F ratio. Within group calculation and the between groups calculation. It can be compared to an F distribution in the same manner as a T ratio is compared to an T distribution as in t-test. So as we use the T distribution in the t-test, we use the F ratio distribution in the ANOVA. This is a F distribution table. You can see that there is a column and rows. And when you finding the this calculation from your results. You can put down that marking where is your actual results stand. So on this basis, you can see that what is the uh, distribution ratios calculations. Again, same question arises: why ANOVA and not t-test? Comparing three groups using t-test would require that t-test be three times the t-test be conducted. This increases the chance of making a type 1 error. The problem is the t-test. Otherwise, both are the same test. They are calculating the difference in the means. But when you apply the t-test more than two times, so you are increasing the risk of the type 1 error. Only a single ANOVA is required to determine if there are differences between multiple groups. So in that cases, when you are doing the research on more than two groups, it is better to do the ANOVA testing. But if there is a one sample group or two sample groups, then the t-test is sufficient to calculate the results. Now come to the types of ANOVA. Most popularly, there are two types of ANOVA: one-way ANOVA and the two-way ANOVA. In today's discussion, we only focus on the one-way ANOVA and the two-way ANOVA. The difference between the one-way ANOVA and two-way ANOVA, there are other types of ANOVA like AN ANOVAs also used, but mostly we are discussing these two types of ANOVAs in medical research. But there are other type which is called also known as a N uh, ANOVA. So difference between a one-way ANOVA and the two-way ANOVA. The difference is the in one-way ANOVA we only do one independent variable. Like you want to see the IQ level of IQ level, and you want to see the IQ levels on different groups, more than three classes or three universities or three colleges. So you want to compare the IQ level. So in that case, only one independent variable is uh, in practice. But in two-way ANOVA, you want to do two type of independent variable like IQ level with the gender. So here is a main difference between the one-way ANOVA and the two-way ANOVA. In one-way ANOVA, you just only pick the one independent variable. Okay, and but in two-way you can use the two independent variable, and there are multiple type of other independent variables. So remember, there is one way and two way ANOVA. So we only discussed today about the one way ANOVA, but we should at least see what is the difference about the two way ANOVA and the one way ANOVA. The one way or two way refer to the numbers of independent variables in your analysis of variance test. One way has one independent variable with two levels, and two way has two independent variables can have multiple levels. This is the main difference. The difference of the independent variable. Same, for example, I give you when you just want to check the IQ levels in different groups. So this is the one way. But when you do the IQ with the gender or other independent variable, you can use the two-way ANOVA. For example, a one-way analysis of variance could have one brand of cereal, and two-way analysis of variance has two brand of cereals calories. Okay, so in one case you just focus on only the brand of cereal, but in two-way you want to focus on the brand of cereal as well as the calories. So there are two independent variables. So this is a difference between one way and the two way. Okay, when to use a one-way ANOVA? This is the example. You have group of individuals randomly split into smaller groups and completing different tasks. For example, you might be studying the effect of tea on weight loss and form three groups: green tea, black tea, and no tea. So here is a independent variables is weight loss, and three categories are green tea, black tea, and no tea. And then you compare these groups with the weight loss strategies. Another situation like similar to situation one, but in this case, the individuals are split into groups based on a attribute they possess. For example, you might be studying the leg strength of people according to weight. You could split participant into weight categories: obese, overweight, and normal, and measure their leg strength on a weight machine. So, the in this case, second case, the weight of the leg is independent, and three categories are the obese, overweight, and the normal. And on which basis you can weigh the leg the strength of on a machine, weight machine. So this is example, but you can apply same knowledge in different ways, and depend upon the type of research, type of objectives you are want to do. This is the actual calculation. See, this is the F distribution, and this is the two groups, between groups and the within groups. So for that calculation, you have to solve this problem for the uh, between groups and the within groups. So you can do it manually. You can do it, but this is a not easy job for the medical student to do such type of calculation. On other side, you can use the software. So this is for your just knowledge. This is not you remember for the need to remember, but you at least see the concept, how the actually the ANOVA works and what are the formulas. So basically, you solve this equation, and on this basis, you put their results on to see to find out the F distribution. Now we use a practical way how you can use the ANOVA by using the SPSS. SPSS is a statistical package for social sciences, so it is easily available uh, in the markets, or you can get from the your university's ID department. They can facilitate you. There's different version of SPSS. I think today in the recently there's a 23rd version is available, but you can use the previous version like 16, 17, 18 versions also. They can do the same calculation, mostly in the same way, but in the new additional information is exist in the new versions. So you can use calculate the ANOVA by using the SPSS. How we can use the SPSS, how we put the data, how you interpret the results. So let's discuss about it now. You'll need two columns of information. One column should be whatever your dependent variable, and the independent or quasi-independent variables. So two need of the things you need in the putting the data in the SPSS. One column represent the dependent variables, and the in other column represent the independent variables. SPSS needs to know which scores go with which group to be able to carry out the ANOVA. So you just give the instruction when you are going to apply the this ANOVA and SPSS. This is a picture when you open the SPSS uh, sheets. This somewhat looks like Excel sheet, but this is not actually Excel. This is a SPSS sheets, and it is a more advanced than the Excel groups. Here is the you can just put the data, and you can on the site. Then you can analyze different type of icons for different purposes. In this group, this example, you can see that there are three types of categories of athletes. Two means one type of category. We discuss it that what is one and what is two, and then you want to see the BMD, the bone marrow density, or bone mineral density. Okay, and you want to see which type of athletes is there a difference with the different type of BMD. So in that case, BMD is the independent variable, and the athletes are divided into three categories in this case. So how you first you put the data in this way. This is actually the variable view. You use the two type of columns, one for the BMD and one for the athletes, and you can put the information in the data view. There are two views when you open the spaces. One is the variable view, and other is the data view. Here you define different types of dependent variable. I told you one for the control is which is not a athlete, and two is for the swimmer, and three is for the weightlifter. So three types of dependent variables. You can see that this is very difficult to do with this t-test, because when there's just two groups, then t-test is okay. But when there is more than two groups, then the ANOVA is a good one choice. So you label and categorize these dependent variable: control, swimmer, and weightlifter. See, this is one for control, and you can see their BMD level. Two for the swimmers, and below is the three, which is for the weightlifter. So you want to see there difference between the bone mineral density uh, across the different types of athletes. So for that, you run the ANOVA test. So when you put the data in the sheets, you go to the analyze. You go to the analyze, and you can see the compare means. And compare means the another dialog box appear, and you click on the one way ANOVA. This is how you perform the ANOVA testing. When you click on the this dialog box, the another dialog box appear, and it would ask which category goes into which column. So here the dependent variable BMD and factorial variable athletes. And what you need about the different types of statics. You want to ask about the descriptive statics. You want the homogeneity of the variance testing. We discuss what is homogeneity, what is the descriptive. Then you want also the means plot. You just any other column, and it will automatically give you the results. Then the post hoc multiple comparison, because you in the ANOVA you want to see that which group is different from the others. So far there are different type of tests are available. In this case we use the Tukey's post hoc multiple comparison testing. There are different other tests at there for with differences, minor differences with when you where you use the bone ferry, shapes or LST type of test. But in this case we use the Tukey test. Okay? And the significance level is mostly in medical sciences we put it 0.05, because we should be 95% assurance are uh, about our result, that we are 95% are confident that our results are true, with the only 5% chance of errors. So when you click on the results, okay, so there are different types of results appear. First, we because ask about the descriptives. Then here the descriptive column appear. Here you can see the numbers. There are 20 athletes in each group and their individual means. And there is a total number, total mean, standard deviation of each group, standard deviation of total groups, standard error, the 95% confidence level from its lower bound, its upper bound, and there is a minimum and maximum. So this is the descriptive statistics which you click for asking, and you want to see that is there okay with all these things, because sometimes suppose you put the number are different, like one category has got the 15, another category has got the 50, so it will give the misinterpretation of the results, because every groups have you give the equal chances and equal participations. You are also asked about the homogeneity of the variance. Means you want to see that all the samples groups has all called the uh, normality, or some have got the equal numbers in their variances. There are no any different numbers. So there are some of squares which show the between groups and the within groups. And here is the ape distribution. This is a result. On this basis, you can check that it is a significant or not. It show it is a significant. So testing of homogeneity of variance is uh, apply. Then we ask about the post hoc test, and we click on the Tukey's test. So here is a multiple comparison. On this column, you can see that which group has got the more differences with the others. See the swimmers. We compare with the swimmer with the weightlifter. Here is the swimmers 0.84. It is not a significant, but weightlifter is less than 0.05. This is a significant. Then you compare the swimmer with the control and weightlifter. Again, the swimmer when compared with the weightlifter, there is a significant scores come which is less than 0.05. So always look that which score is point less than 0.05. So in this case, control is has a lot of difference with the weightlifter, and the swimmer also has got difference with the 0.05. See, this is both are the athletes, but the BMD difference is much higher. And when you compare the weightlifter, then you can see the both are the significant. Means actually the main group which has got high BMD levels are the weightlifters. They've got the more BMD uh, power than the other athletes. So here you can see the also the mean plots, and you want to see that the difference between the swimmers and the controllers little bit, but the main difference of the group is the athletes or the weightlifters. Sorry. So you can see that there is much difference when there is a sudden increase in the BMD levels. So weightlifters BMD levels much higher than the swimmers and the control groups. So you can see that how the ANOVA actually point out which group has got the differences. So if you have any question, please chatting with me regarding today's topic. Okay, any question regarding today's topic, please ask. I understand this topic is not more attractive for the medical student, but it is mandatory that research is a part of your syllabus, and in the future you need the research, and you should at least need the familiarity with this type of things. So please ask any question. One question is asked from the Sakina Mansoor that what is the difference between the t-test and the ANOVA? She missed the slide. The main, the both are things are basically see the differences of means are within in the groups. But the difference is that the number of samples, number of groups. So when there is only one group or two groups, you can apply the t-test. But when more than two groups, then the ANOVA is the better choice, because the t-test has a problem where it is apply on the more than two groups. So difference is the number of groups. This is where when the number of groups are more than two, you apply that ANOVA. But if the number of groups are one or two, you can apply the t-test. This is the main difference. Otherwise, both are the same, working the same. ANOVA is basically, I told you, this is an extension of t-test. Any other question? Yes, I'm here. If you ask any question regarding today's topic, ANOVA. Okay, I think nobody bothered to ask questions. So I want to stop the lecture. Please ask any questions. Okay, one thing which I want to share that for references books, there are many books for the statics. Uh, the Kuzma is a number one choice in medical for medical student, but there are other references like you can use the Mohammad Ilyas. It can give you the fundamental or foundational basic information about the different types. But for basically the proper reference is the Kuzma for biostatics. But you can even study through internet. You can go and see that what is ANOVA, how it is actually works, what are the fundamental concepts, what is the difference between the t-test. You go through the lecture as well as the the things which is available on the net are in the books. Okay. ये उबैद कहाँ गया? हाँ तारिक, इसको बस क्लोज करें।